Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Black History Month opening ceremony. I'm Corey Tucker.
And I'm Naomi White.
And today we come together to not just celebrate Black History Month and the successes of our people that we have had throughout the years, but it is also the 50th anniversary of MESA. MESA embraces people's diverse backgrounds and gives them a way to voice their ideas and have a sense of belonging.
A class boycott organized by the Black Action Movement in 1970 led to a wave of activism at the University of Michigan. The goal was to challenge the lack of diversity in civil rights initiatives, and this forced the university to address the concerns and support their Black students.
The theme for this year's Black History Month is Black Joy. Black Joy means focusing on the successes and accomplishment of Black people throughout the years from all backgrounds. Despite the hardships we faced and are still facing, we continue to rise.
We are leaders, scientists, doctors, innovators, entertainers, and so much more. Black Joy is about capturing the wins of our people and celebrating them despite us not being expected to do so. Black Joy is overcoming the odds continuously in a world that was in theory not made for us.
We celebrate Black Joy because nobody has us like we have us. Therefore, we must rise and show the world what we can do. Black Joy shows that as Black people, despite the trauma our people have gone through, we are proud to be who we are.
No matter where we come from or what we identify as, we are one and we are happy to be Black.
This is something that cannot be taken from us, nor can it be replicated. We are the blueprint and the standard. Special thank you to the University of Michigan executives, Martino Harmon, Kim Pease, Khalili, Robert Sellers, and Anjali Anakar, along with Michigan Media for providing us with this live stream.
We have an amazing lineup for you all today, featuring an acknowledgement of the land, libations, 2 performances that have been eloquently put together, and words from our keynote speaker. We want to thank you for joining us in this celebration of Blackness, and I hope you enjoy.
Ain't it a good day to be Black? What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Alexander Cathro. I use he, him pronouns, and I am a program manager here at the University of Michigan. Thank you, Corey and Mariam, for that lovely introduction. We are so happy to be here with y'all today. Before we move forward with our programming, we do want to start with a land acknowledgement, and so I'll read that now. The university's 3 campuses are located on the lands of the Anishinaabe and Wyandot, which were ceded under Article 1 of the Treaty of Detroit in 1807. The university's endowment was originally funded in significant measure by sale of land granted under Article 16 of the 1817 Treaty of the Foot of the Rapids, also known as the Treaty of Fort Meigs. This grant for the college at Detroit was made by Anishinaabe, including Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi, so that their children could be educated. These lands continue to be the homeland of many indigenous people, and through these words of acknowledgement, we seek to reaffirm and respect their contemporary and ancestral ties to the land and to recognize their contributions to the university. We also want to acknowledge the people of African descent who were instrumental in the cultivation, maintenance, and industrialization of much of the lands that we currently inhabit. The countless contributions they offered in the fields, factories, classrooms, boardrooms, and across this country assisted in paving the way for us to be here today, speaking with you all. We affirm and honor their deeds and vow to continue to lift up their memory. We are their legacy.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for joining us for the opening ceremony of our Black History Month. Thank you to Corey and Marianne for giving us the opening remarks, and thank you to Dylan for giving us the land acknowledgement, which is very important. At this time, we had in store for you a libation because we understand that it is essential and very important for us to recognize those that come before us, our ancestors, those who are helping and working with us now, and those that are to come. However, we understand we are in a world where we have to pivot so many times and be ready at the start of the dime. And so I would not be giving libations at this time because I am not skilled, and we want to give respect to the practice that goes forth at that time. But we did want to take a moment to give honor to those before, with, and to come. And so we'll just have a brief moment of silence in recognition for those. Thank you for standing with me at that time of recognition, and we will go ahead and move forward with our program. Have fun.
It's still good as hell to be Black. Thank you, Miaka, for that moment of silence. And let's just hold true to the image and the hopes that our ancestor had for us as we move forward throughout this presentation. First and foremost, I want to thank you again, all, for being here today. Following in our program, we do have two very talented spoken word artists who are going to be speaking with you all today. We're very excited to have them here. Before moving forward, I would like to say that both of these spoken word pieces are true. They are heartfelt, they are joyous, and they are hard. And so it may be difficult for some of these concepts to be taken in and considered. We will give a few moments between each of our spoken word presentations for you to reflect and consider the works that are being given to you. So now we're going to have a series of 2 performances, which I am very excited to hear. It is my pleasure to first introduce Benjamin Colding, he, him, his pronouns, who is a sophomore at the University of Michigan, where he majors in earth and environmental sciences, as well as Asian studies. For him, Black joy is very important because we as a people cannot advance as much as we like if we aren't able to find happiness within ourselves and aren't able to reflect upon all the joy that we as a people have experienced as much as the pain we've undergone. Today, he will be performing an original spoken word piece entitled Joyous Pride. So without further ado, let's give it up for Benjamin as he speaks with us today.
First and foremost, thank you so much for such an energetic welcome. Okay. Hello all, my name is Benjamin Colding. I'm a sophomore here in All That Jazz, but instead of being long-winded about lyrical introductions and whatnot, I'm here to entrance, enrapture, and mesmerize you all with the joys of yourself and all of our cultural brothers and sisters. Now, take a moment with me to wander down my rather whimsical train of thought about what wrapped up in my mind when I learned that this month's theme is Black joy. I immediately thought to myself, where does our joy come from? What exactly are the roots that produce such ripe fruits of joy when I think about my luscious hair, my melanated skin, and things of the sort? And I immediately came to the conclusion that our joy stems from our pride. But what distinguishes our beautiful Black joy and pride from the happiness that imbues the hearts of others when their demographic emanates? And let me tell you all, I came to some pretty hardcore conclusions. I didn't come to some cushy, gentle on the ears, all lives matter-esque answer that would absolutely tend to the uncomfortableness of all and still satisfy us. I came to some hardcore conclusions about how the core of happiness lays in what exists when jovialness and joy and delight isn't there. Our pride and joy stems from our past of pain that we proudly wear on our skin every day. Our pride and joy comes from the present of peril that we plunge ourselves into every day when we just walk out that door. Our pride and joy stems from the field of flourishing futures that we actively work to produce every day by facing the consistent fatigue, torment, and depression flung at us by society. Now, take a moment with me, y'all and y'all-lets, to think about our past and our pain. And to be real, we don't have to go that far back. We don't have to think about how we were, ripped from our roots or condensed onto carriers to the point that our excrement worked as our food, or think about how we were robbed of centuries worth of knowledge, language, happiness, and culture to see our pain. We could just, open our phones, tap 3 times, swipe, dial grandma and grandpa, and ask them what it was like to be hit with a hard R. We can ask grandma and grandpa what it was like having parents that had barns burned down by the bitterness and the barbarism of the oppressor who hated us because we weren't okay with what? Being lynched, skinned, eaten, and just treated like animals? We can ask grandma and gramps what it's like having to pass down generations worth of unwritten rules on public conduct because we aren't okay with being openly oppressed. But to add on top of all of that, we might as well add them to the call. We can hit up mom and pops and ask them what it was like having their wallets violated by the egos of those who don't want to hire qualified workers because our skin doesn't lack melanin. We can ask mom and pops what it was like seeing Trayvon Martin on the news, knowing that that could be us, because it was just cold outside and we forgot our hats at home. But let's be real. Let's be real. One day, our kids could call us and ask what it was like being looked up and down in grocery stores because you just wanted to rock a really drippy all-black Nike Tech Fit. Our kids could one day call us and ask what it was like having our puffy, nappy, curly hair condemned because so desperately do those in positions of power want to suppress our expressionism. Our kids could call us with racing minds and speeding hearts after hearing that we are dang near being publicly hunted by society's overseers, police officers, and that there's a list longer than 3 sets of movie credits of innocent African Americans all over the country who have just been slaughtered and have reaped no justice. And to be quite frank, our struggle and list of oppressions to overcome is kind of far from being over. But in a way, our pride and joy stems from that. Get this, right? We can watch Hidden Figures with hearts jumping from joy when we see that rocket launch into space due to the efforts of those black women who work day in and day out for people who wouldn't piss on them if they are on fire, because, we're built different like that. We can watch or read about Bo Jackson, Arthur Ashe, Gabby Douglas, Serena Williams, Russell Westbrook, and an ongoing list of black athletes who have faced an onslaught of assaults aimed at them using their selective sports as a medium, but despite that, have still managed to be figures successful and vital to the history of the sport because we're built different. We can listen to Megan, Tayana, Nicki, Yachty, Lano, Sean, Drake, Pop, Rihanna, and Tyler and know that despite being jawned about, despised, and publicly shunned because of the art that they indulge in and the images that they paint to themselves, they still manage to get that bread, be great, and do big things because we're built different like that. But let's be real. Let's boil it down some more. I can go down this Zoom call and look at all of my fellow students who got GroupMe accounts, chilling in group chats, only to be ignored by those with nasty images of our people put into their minds by a society led by our oppressor, but despite that, still end up on the A side of that bell curve. I can go down this Zoom call and bet money that dang near all of us have been slammed, sneered at, slighted, and slandered for, I don't know, wearing caps indoors, wearing hoods when it's cold, letting our hair chill in its natural state, and just not giving into many unsung pressures emitted by an abundance of forces in society and just straight up dropping out, but instead have decided to pursue their ideal images of success with nothing but twinkles in their eyes. I can go down this Zoom call and listen to everyone's story about how they can just feel the doubt resonating from professors, counselors, advisors, GSIs, RAs, peers, students, and all sorts of people with a nice maize and blue badge. But guess what? Even if you cry, break, suffer, drown, or mentally deteriorate, even if you lose, fail, or just drop out, you still did it. You got into one of the world's most prestigious institutions of academic vigor and made a mark, whether that mark is in your lineage, your social circle, the university itself, or just our culture. And let's be real, even if someone didn't get into college, they jumped 2 feet first into life with the will and vigor to live and do things their way. And no matter our position in society, custodians, programmers, plumbers, teachers, cashiers, engineers, doctors, physicists, physicians, bakers, or bankers, we wear the pain of our past and our present on our skin every day and continue to dub life even though we was born on extra hard mode. And I mean, ain't there pride in joy in that? From dang near nothing, we built a culture that would sing its influence globally. And ain't there power in that? With our predecessors as our teachers, have we gained a top-tier education? And ain't there strength in that? With nothing but our hands and feet did we imbue ourselves with an abundance of skills and talents, and ain't there joy in that? From what was passed on to us directly, do we design a future whilst waving away the woe of the present to that malevolence is just non-existent, and we, be it at the forefront of our minds or the back of our brains, can walk with pride and joy in our hearts. And I mean, ain't it nice as hell to be Black? Thank you.
Wow. Ain't there pride in that? Ain't there strength in that? Ain't there joy in that? Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you so much. Let's take a brief moment to reflect on that impactful spoken word from Benjamin. Thank you. My name is Maya Jackson, and I have the pleasure of introducing our next performer. Kayla Tate is a junior at the University of Michigan, majoring in creative writing. She is a lover of good books, good people, and Black empowerment. And her work as a writer and community organizer is inspired by all three. For Kayla, Black joy is community. Black joy is a choice that is so deeply ingrained, it mirrors an instinctual power. It blossoms and nurtures everywhere it's planted. Let's give a warm virtual welcome to Kayla Tate.
Thank you, Maya. This first piece is titled A Poem of Bees. Beautiful Black boy, with his head buried in books, birthed by beautiful Black mothers who teach him to love his beautiful Black looks, boisterous beyond belief with his bright, benevolent smile, blessed by the sun, kissed by God. Big brother, big homie, big believer, but bitter, about the bad things in the world, best not bottle it up. Brought before barriers built by bullshit beliefs, bloody, boastful, bruised by breaking free. Best be brave, best be better, better to be best. Because you want to, you have to. Beautiful black boy with his head buried, best not bottle it up. Best believe that big boys better, black boys better fly. This next piece was inspired by my great-grandmother, Nana, who has Southern roots. And it's inspired by a story that has been passed from her and beyond down to me. And it's been incredibly joyful and healing to know that my familial knowledge will rest with me. And I smile when I think about my Nana telling my grandma this story, my grandma telling my mother, and then my mother telling me. This piece is my slice of Black joy. And it's titled, It's the Southern Folk That'll Tell You. When the sun is shining and yet it still decides to rain, that right there is one of my favorite things. No one quite knows what to do with themselves. Feet falter, hurried steps slow. Raindrops tickle palms outstretched in wonder as they look to the sky surprised. Faces tilt up instinctively, scrunching as the water kisses their skin. They marvel at the sweet musky smell. Rain sizzling on the sidewalk, gone so quick you'd never know it were there. Each time is like the first time as they look to the sky and wonder. Sun showers, they call them. When the sun is shining and yet it still decides to rain. When God makes a day so beautiful it makes the devil mad. It's the Southern folks that'll tell you. When there's a sun shower, the devil's beating his wife with a frying pan. Tell you that the rain that's falling is her tears. Too much beauty and the devil gets mad. That's what the Southern folk will tell you. Much too glorious to rain, to go uninterrupted, the devil makes sure to rain on that there parade. Sun showers, that's what they call them. When the day is so beautiful, there just has to be rain, when afterwards, if you look hard enough, you'll find a rainbow. And it's the Southern folk who will tell you that rainbows after sun showers means the devil's wife opened a can of whoop ass right back on him. And that right there is one of my favorite things. Thank you.
Wow. I know we keep saying it, but I can't stress it enough. Isn't it good to be Black? Thank you, Kayla, for such a powerful piece. As before, let's take a moment and reflect on what Kayla told us. Thank you. Before moving forward with our remarks, from our keynote speaker, members of the Black History Month Planning Committee wanted to share with you our personal understandings of Black joy. We will also encourage our audiences to reflect on their own understanding of Black joy and to think of ways to embody Black joy throughout their everyday lives. For me, Black joy means the feeling that I get looking back on pictures from Black Homecoming and Black Welcome Week. Seeing my people out doing things and just enjoying their company with each other, it really embodies Black joy for me. And in general, the celebration of us and our Blackness is really something to see.
I hope you all are enjoying this Black joy. Ain't it good to be Black, this Black strength, everything. As much as I have been hearing words from our two poets, and they are just challenging us to really reflect on what impact we have just by existing. And so as you all are reflecting on your own idea of what Black joy means to you, I have the privilege of sharing you what it means to me, My name is Miaka White. Again, I use she, her pronoun. I am currently working with Dylan, who presented himself earlier, and presenting this opening ceremony to you all. And again, we thank you for joining us and taking the time to come pick up food, hint, hint, and to listen and join us virtually to start off Black History Month. Ain't it warm outside right now? Ain't it something that shouldn't happen in February, but somehow it's still happening? Have you noticed that the minute we decide to step onto a campus that at first told us we can't be here, we thrive, we flow, we make changes, we challenge, we give folks something to think about just because we're here. Ain't it good to be Black? Friends, Black joy to me means that we are going to get through regardless of what's going on. Regardless of how many times people tell me, no, I can't because I have the unnatural ability to not hear due to my hearing loss, but to hear you due to my energy, to my observance, to my own personal joy. Black joy means that because so many things keep happening to my people, I have to stand up and make a choice every day. Am I going to show up or am I just going to be there? And we all can actually understand that Black joy, sometimes you have no choice to decide if you're going to be there or not, because the minute you show up, you stand out. And so I take an opportunity for the fact that I stand out. Look at me. My hair could be straight one day, poofy the other day, braided the next day, and then gone after that. And I still look good. I can decide to wear my baggy pants, my sweats, and decide I need to be comfortable. I can stand up and show out, and I will still present and represent at the same time. Black joy to me means that I am me, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. I will continue to be Miaka Christine White, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, coming to the prestige university, and still have to navigate between the world that tells me, I don't care about your degree. You don't look like you belong here. But guess what? I do. Black joy means that I am me, and you are you, and don't you change a thing about it. I smile. I grieve. I have to take a moment away to give myself awareness, self-awareness, wellness. We are all understanding that there is so much to go through in this life. But ain't it good to be Black? We are going to have each of our committee members come up and join us in sharing what their Black joy is. And so next I present the lovely Maya Jackson. Thank you.
Hello again. My name is Maya Jackson. I'm a sophomore in LSA, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan. The D, as I like to call it. I went to Renaissance High School, Bates Academy. I go to school in Ann Arbor. So I've seen Black joy pretty much all my life. It's in my family, it's in my friendships, it's in those that I honor and those that I cherish. Black joy is a celebration of Blackness, even among differences. It supports my experience as a Black woman with love, happiness, and connection. I see Black joy in the resilience of Black people, in the laughter of my friends, in the dances and music performed by Black artists, and so much more as we defy stereotypes. In this way, it permeates my life and shows how necessary and uplifting the feeling and embodiment of Black joy truly is. I think this joy is inherent in us, and when we tap into it, there's magic. Thank you.
To me, Black joy means to always showcase that you're Black and you love it, no matter what. We as a people have faced many issues throughout the years, but this has never kept us down, as we always know how to overcome. Black joy serves as a balance between our troubled history and our hopeful future. Black joy defines us, being loudly happy, energetic, unapologetic in this world. This could be wearing your natural hair to work or letting your ebonics come out. Personally, Black joy is just always being who you are, not letting any situation take that away from you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Smith. I am a junior in the business school, and Black joy is how I block out societal pressures. It's how I really immerse myself into loving myself. Black joy is why I can smile all day on campus and never really worry too hard, because I know that I am resilient in the midst of it all. Thank you.
I just keep coming back up here, don't I? Allow me, before I talk about my Black joy, to bring us back to our screen so you can see the beautiful smiling faces of our melanin siblings, of our Afro-descended siblings, so you don't have to just see my face the whole time. Black joy to me is this moment, right now. It's being surrounded by these beautiful students who put together this programming for you. Black joy to me is knowing that I come from a people that, despite adversity, continue to be joyous, to be proud, and to demand better for our people and the people that are going to come. We're at a very prestigious institution, and I'm happy to be here. It ain't always easy to be here, but we finna stay. Because Black History Month really is every month. But we take pride in putting forward and programming different types of events during the month of February so that we can show out, so that we can show everyone that Blackness is not a monolithic experience. Blackness, Afro-descendedness, whatever you want to call it, looks different to every single person, but that experience of being Black is unifying. It's unifying. And it's not every day that we get to have a space like this to share in commonality, to share in joy, because we are oftentimes talking about things that are not joyous when it applies to Black communities. I'm not saying we shouldn't. That stuff's real too. But today and throughout this month, we finna talk about how good as hell it is to be Black. So as more and more of our committee members come and talk about what Black joy means to them, I hope that you're able to really reflect on this notion, which might seem radical to some, but really shouldn't be. Reflect on, whether you're part of the Black community or not, what Black joy means, why it's important to celebrate Black joy, and to immerse ourselves in it and embody it and practice it each and every day. I'm going to welcome the next person up. And I thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Omar. To me, Black joy is being proud as a whole, just looking throughout your whole background, kind of reflecting on that, having a tight-knit relationship with your family, being supportive of one another, really making the most of everything at your disposal. That includes education, really just trying to have fun with everything you're doing, and really just working hard to uplift everyone around you. And at times that can be hard, especially being Black in America. but you just gotta persevere. You really just gotta hang in there. And like I said, use your resources. Not being afraid to ask for questions. I think that's a huge thing that goes unnoticed. And then most of all, just having fun while you're doing all this. And I think that's what Black Joy means to me. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Benjamin Colding. I'm a sophomore here at the School of LS&A. And to me, Black Joy is kind of broken into two components. I think that Black Joy has a component of acknowledgement and a component of acceptance, because we have to take a moment to realize, like, our culture has a lot of pain behind it. Like, there's just a lot of bad stuff for us to think about and talk about. But we have to acknowledge that bad stuff and acknowledge the good stuff even more. Well, the same amount, if not more, whatever you want to do. But acknowledge the good as much as we want to acknowledge the bad. And I feel as though a lot of people might not think about it like this, but Black Joy is something that occurs on a person-to-person basis. Black Joy doesn't necessarily need to be, oh, this profound celebrity or figure has made this achievement or done this thing. Black Joy might be, oh my goodness, I got these shoes I really like, and that just makes me happy, makes my day. Feel as though Black Joy can be, oh, I got a quiz score, I did something that was just really nice. And that's where the acceptance part comes in. Feel as though when you acknowledge that Black Joy, you acknowledge, like, yeah, this is really cool, I'm really enjoying this. Just whatever makes you happy, you have to accept that and acknowledge it and accept that, you know, Black Joy at the moment does not need to be some multi-million-dollar job or something really, really big. It might be you deciding that you're going to focus on yourself. It might be you deciding that you want a haircut. So I think that Black Joy is kind of it varies person to person, but it just consists of acknowledgement of all things that make us happy and you happy. Thank you.
When I was thinking about what Black Joy means to me, I immediately thought of a poem by Assata Shakur, so I just wanted to read that. It's called Affirmation. I believe in living. I believe in the spectrum of better days and gamma people. I believe in sunshine and windmills and waterfalls, tricycles and rocking chairs. And I believe that seeds grow into sprouts, and sprouts grow into trees. I believe in the magic of the hands and in the wisdom of the eyes. I believe in rain and tears and in the blood of infinity. I believe in life, and I have seen the death parade march through the torso of the earth, sculpting mud bodies in its path. I have seen the destruction of the daylight and seen bloodthirsty maggots prayed to and saluted. I have seen the kind become the blind, and the blind become the bind in one easy lesson. I have walked on cut glass. I have eaten crow and blunder bread and breathed the stench of indifference. I have been locked by the lawless, handcuffed by the haters, gagged by the greedy. And if I know anything at all, it's that a wall is just a wall and can be nothing more at all. It can be broken down. I believe in living. I believe in birth. I believe in the sweat of love and in the fire of truth. And I believe that a lost ship, steered by tired, seasick sailors, can still be guided home to port. So a lot of times I read that poem when I'm not feeling the best, but it encapsulates Black Joy to me because I do think that Black Joy is a choice, but it's a simple one because I think it's one that's like handed down to us from those who have come before us. Black Joy, to me, it is community. It's community organizing. It's holding one another accountable. And Black Joy, I want to specifically emphasize the Black queer community because that's Black Joy to me. And that's a community that's oftentimes erased So, yeah. And the words of Assata Shakur for the Black queer community, I seen your light and it was shining. But yeah, that's what Black joy is to me.
Dylan, are you having a good time?
Oh, I'm having a real good time.
And you know, at this moment, if we were all in person, we would say, "Are y'all having a good time out there?" But we actually have a few folks in the room, so I'm gonna ask, "Are y'all having a good time out there?" I promise you, that wasn't a YouTube clip. There's real folks
really
in
there.
here.
They're really there. They're really
It's
there.
really in here. And so, Dylan, I just want to say, what else is happening? I mean, this opening ceremony is already starting off very, very nice. And I just want to give folks the time, just in case they leave a little early. What else is happening this week for Black History Month?
Shade, no shade. Don't leave early, though. So, we have a long list of events for y'all. So, on Thursday, it might be rescheduled because of the impending snow blizzard. But we have a Guest That Black Engineer event being put on by the National Society of Black Engineers, followed by Friday, a dance workshop of the Detroit Ballroom and Bachata. So, we're going to be talking about the Black influences of multiple dances, such as Bachata, which is readily practiced in Latinx communities and around the world. And also, the next week, we will have another dance workshop. That's what now?
It is. That's Kizomba and Detroit Hustle. Y'all know sometimes you hear that song. Some of y'all know y'all need to come learn that Tamia Hustle. Come through. Come through. So that's next Friday. It's here in the Union as well. So come out next Friday as well to get the dance workshop. And wasn't there a gala on the 5th?
There's a gala on the 5th.
No, but didn't it get changed? It sure did. Those of you out that registered for the gala on the 5th, it has been moved to the 20th. So you all should have received an email because you registered. Did you register?
Did you register, though?
Did you register?
Did you register, though?
So we want to make sure that you all register for these upcoming events. We have a talk with Dr. O, dismantling what disability really is, and it isn't. We also have
a talk with Dr. Ampene, whose documentary, let me say that, we are going to be screening on the 17th.
It is on the 17th.
In room 2210 in the Union, which is entitled Gone to the Village, which we followed that next Friday by a Q&A with Dr. Ampene about the documentary and its significance for not just Black folks in Ghana, but also Black folks around the world, because it focuses on what? Black joy.
Black joy, that's right. And so what we're getting ready to do is we know you've been sitting in front of your computers. Some of you all have been on Zoom for class. Some of you have been on with meetings, interviews. We live through the computer. Although we thank you for your presence, we are going to take a moment to give you all 7 minutes?
7-8 minutes.
7-8 minute intermission. But what I want you all to know is that we have food here in the Union right in front of the Pendleton room.
A lot of food.
A lot of food. And so if you are in your dorm, if you are across the hall in Angel Hall, if you're even within the Union.
In the Idea Hub.
Wherever you are, you have some time between now and the end of this ceremony, about 5 o'clock, to come and pick up some food. So we invite you to take a small break, take a breather, go ahead and use those restrooms. Stretch, get something to drink, and we'll see you all back here at 3:50. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Hello, I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker for today. Dr. Naomi Andre is a professor in the Department of Afro-American and African Studies, Women's and Gender Studies, and the Residential College at the University of Michigan. She received her Bachelor's of Arts from Barnard College and her Master's of Arts and PhD in Musicology from Harvard University. Her research focuses on opera and issues surrounding gender, voice, and race in the US, Europe, and South Africa. Her publications include topics of Italian opera, Schoenberg, female composers, and teaching opera in prisons. Her book, Black Opera, History, Power, Engagement, published by the University of Illinois Press in 2018, won the Lowens Book Award from the Society for American Music and the Judy Sue Critical Race Studies Award from the American Musicological Society. Her earlier books include Voicing Gender, Castrati, Travesti, and the Second Movement in Early 19th Century Italian Opera, published in 2006, and Blackness in Opera, published in 2012, the co-edited collection. She has edited and contributed to clusters of articles in African Studies, the Journal of the Society for American Music, and the Journal of the American Musicological Society. Most recently, she is a co-editor for the essay collection, African Performance Arts and Political Acts, published by the University of Michigan Press in 2021. Since 2019, Dr. Andre has been the inaugural scholar in residence at the Seattle Opera, and she is a founding member of the Black Opera Research Network. In the second semester of my freshman year, I had the pleasure of taking Introduction to Afro-American Studies, brilliantly taught by Professor Andre. By taking Professor Andre's class alone and becoming so enthralled by the topics of the course and the way she engaged us, I came to the decision that I wanted to continue educating myself in Afro-American and African studies. As Dr. Andre had inspired me, I hope that she will inspire you all. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Andre to the stage.
Thank you. Oh, you are so kind. Hello, what a pleasure. And Maya, thank you for that really warm and wonderful introduction. I feel so at home actually seeing people in person and also our wonderful Zoom world. Thank you for all the work that goes behind this. When I was invited to give this keynote talk, my first thought was, absolutely. I want to do this. I want to think about Black joy. I want to spend some time brainstorming and getting into that mental space that moves away from the hurt, trauma, and pain. Let's spend some time thinking about what Black joy can mean. And there is no spoiler here about, in order to fully explore joy, I need to take you on a journey of pain. I'll leave that for someone else. Our lives right now, during this time of freezing cold weather, impending blizzards, limited exposure to direct sunlight, that Michigan midwinter experience, and the ever-evolving, seemingly never-ending pandemic, it makes life hard enough. My desire here is to spend a few minutes with you now, at the beginning of Black History Month, thinking about joy. I am a music lover and a musicologist, which is really just a fancy way of saying musicologist is someone who studies music history, genre, style, and how music has cultural meanings. As a musicologist, my thoughts quite naturally turn to music, and there's a whole world of joy I can share with you about that. Rather than playing lots of wonderful examples of my favorite musical moments, which could be totally fun and perhaps a little bizarre for many given my specialty in opera, instead I'm going to talk about and focus on a topic I've been thinking about a lot lately, and that is having a sense of belonging. Belonging is one way to jump into that fashionable way of saying diversity, equity, and inclusion, something we've seen a lot over the past several years, and especially since the summer of 2020. Here at the University of Michigan, we have had an intense DEI initiative that Chief Diversity Officer Robert Sellers has been spearheading before 2020, along with many others at this university who's been devoted to walking the talk, even before this was an official plank in the administration. I think of Lester Montz, a former vice provost who also is a fellow musicologist, Beth James, my wonderful colleagues in DAS, the devoted people right here in Mesa, the Multi-Ethnic Student Association, and the many frequently unsung others in the U of M trenches who have and continue to make this university a space better for all of us. I focus on belonging because it is part of the DEI message that feels most personal for me, and as I venture, for many of us who have been excluded and continue to feel disenfranchised in various parts of the university structure. Belonging is not an aspiration that is proven by statistics or enforced through surveys and in-person or online workshops. Belonging is feeling that you have been seen as being truly human. And being human means having the ability to feel and express joy. I just really love that topic. I want to now focus on a hymn that makes me feel like I belong and that I'm seen as being fully human. But before I move to that particular hymn, I want to explore the meaning of this common, yet quite loaded and coded term, hymn. Going back to the ancient Greeks with discussions by Pindar, Bacchylides, and in Homeric poems, the Grove Music Dictionary Online, and this is the gold standard scholarly musical reference, that the Grove describes the hymn as, and its ability to, quote, weave or to combine words artfully. The Oxford English Dictionary traces its history from Latin, Greek, and Hebrew words, with the hymn being, quote, a metrical composition adapted to be sung in a religious service, sometimes distinguished from psalm or anthem as not being a part of the text from the Bible, end quote. In the second listing from the OED, there is a broadening away from the religious connotation, with the hymn being, quote, an ode or song of praise in honor of a deity, a country, etc. I like this term hymn because it has a long continued history up through the present. In addition to the Jewish, Greek, and Roman uses, there are also medieval, Christian, and Byzantine versions of this hymn as a poetic object. The hymn was a genre that was later adapted by Protestant faith supporting congregational singing and worship. This is important for the unity it can create for belonging in a community. In the mid-20th century, hymns had a special use in the civil rights movement and linked to the themes of devotion, praise, liberty, and protest all together. Hence, since antiquity and up to the present, as a genre, hymn has spiritual, religious, political, and social capacities that center in the articulations of culture and community. I now turn to the particular hymn for which I've set up this context. It is one that is known by many of you. It is Lift Every Voice and Sing. And there is a terrific story behind the song that I want to relate in words told by James Weldon Johnson, and he tells this in 1935. This is the song's history told by James Weldon Johnson. A group of young men in Jacksonville, Florida, arranged to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's birthday in 1900. My brother, Jay, for John, Rosamond Johnson, and I decided to write a song to be sung at the exercises. I wrote the words and he wrote the music. Our New York publisher, Edwin B. Marks, made mimeographed copies for us, and the song was taught to and sung by a chorus of 500 colored school children. And just as a quick note, colored and Negro, a word that's going to be mentioned in the next part of the quotation, these were polite terms used for African Americans in 1935. Back to James Weldon Johnson. Shortly after my brother and I moved away from Jacksonville to New York, and the song passed out of our minds, but the school children of Jacksonville kept singing it. They went off to other schools and sang it. They became the teachers and taught it to other children. Within 20 years, it was being sung over the South and in some other parts of the country. Today, the song, popularly known as the Negro National Hymn, is quite generally used. The lines of this song repay me in an elation, almost of exquisite anguish, whenever I hear them sung by Negro children. End quote. At this time, in 1899-1900, when the song was written, James Weldon Johnson was the school principal at the Edwin M. Stanton School in Jacksonville, Florida. And this was the same school that he and his brother, John Rosamond Johnson, had attended. This was an all-black school due to segregation, and in 1900 they were celebrating the visit to the school by Booker T. Washington and honoring the 91st anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 and died in assassinated in 1865. There are different versions of this history that have the students reciting the text by James Weldon Johnson in 1900, and then the melody by John Rosamond Johnson was added in 1905. However, most versions of the story say that there were 500 children who sang the song in 1900. I'm going to play a version of Lift Every Voice and Sing that was recorded via Zoom by PS, which stands for Public School if you're from New York, PS 316, the Elijah Stroud Elementary School on June 15th, 2020, and most likely right around Juneteenth, ironically 1 year before Juneteenth became a federal national holiday that we just celebrated for the first time as a federal national holiday this past June in 2021. PS 316, Elijah Stroud Elementary School, is in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, which is in New York City. The notes about this recording say, our students virtually and collectively singing Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. They did so every morning at school, even before the pandemic. Thank you.
Lift every voice and sing till heaven ring. Bring the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness, those kids, and I think of them singing, and when I heard that it was first performed with little kids, 500 singing that, I just had to bring that to us. Hopefully you were able to hear it, and if you didn't, please look it up. It's on YouTube. Okay, during the civil rights era, especially in the 1950s and 60s, this song was sung along with We Shall Overcome and This Little Light of Mine and others as community building emblems of faith, solidarity, and resistance. This past fall of 2021, the National Football League decided to start week 1 of their season with Lift Every Voice and Sing, a gesture that has been both celebrated as well as criticized as a weak mollifying gesture after the treatment of Colin Kaepernick, the former quarterback who took a knee to protest police brutality of African Americans during the national anthem in the 2016 season, and he's not played in the NFL since. In 1919, the NAACP called this song the Negro National Anthem, and since then it has been frequently referred to that way. However, I really like a statement by Faith Karimi and A.J. Wellington, two CNN reporters, who wrote in September 2020 about this work. Quote, "The hymn is known as the Black National Anthem, but it's more than that. It's a history lesson, a rallying cry, a pledge of unity, and as people gather to fight for equality and justice, it is an ever-present refrain." Note how Karimi and Willingham refer to it as both a hymn and an anthem. Yes, this brings us back to the power of this work as a hymn and the collective use of belonging that it has and continues to create. I want to close with a few words about why I've spent so much time articulating or situating Lift Every Voice and Sing as a hymn. I've set up the hymn as a separate genre of praise that is adjacent to, but not replacing, the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Here at the U of M, we have a scholar who knows more than anyone else, I'd argue, about the Star-Spangled Banner. Professor Mark Clegg has a book coming out about the history and the complications around our national anthem, including the references to slavery in the third verse that is not usually sung, and the complicated history of Francis Scott Key, the poet, and his relationship and practice of slavery. I assert that there is room for both a national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, that we all know and have associated with patriotic occasions, and shall we call it a national hymn, Lift Every Voice and Sing. This leads me to House Resolution 301. Guess that's not here. That's okay. House Resolution 301. That will be heard the first session of the 117th Congress and was introduced by House Representative James E. Clyburn, Democrat from the South Carolina in District 6. Congressman Clyburn introduced this resolution on January 13th, 2021, quote, to amend Title 36 United States Code to establish the composition known as Lift Every Voice and Sing as the national hymn of the United States, end quote. This is very exciting. What a sense of belonging to have a song, Lift Every Voice and Sing, be formally recognized as a national hymn. It is something that can sit side by side with the official Star-Spangled Banner national anthem and send a new message to African Americans who have felt a special affinity for this song for over 100 years. Yet there is nothing in the three stanzas of the text that exclusively refers to African Americans. The Black experience is embodied while also referencing triumphs, struggles, and strength all humans encounter. The text refers to hard work, aspiration, motivation, and moving towards victory. In the first verse, we have every voice called upon to rejoice and face the rising sun of our new day begun. In the second verse, there is a very important recognition of difficulties, tears, and days when hope unborn had died. The weary years and silent tears are brought into the third, final verse. The concluding lines, true to our God, true to our native land, combine praise and national pride, sentiments that perfectly encapsulate the mission of a national hymn. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about these ideas. This keynote has also been a helpful presentation for me. This Friday morning, February 4th, at 8:15 a.m., I will get to fulfill a civic duty when I will testify before the Subcommittee on the Constitution, Civil Rights, and Civil Liberties for the Committee on the Judiciary for the House of Representatives. Excavating meaning in music is one of the things that give me great joy, and it has been a pleasure to share these thoughts with you as we enter Black History Month. Thank you very much. to Dr. Andre. Wow. I'm looking right at her and I'm just in complete awe. And to see the sign language the young was showing, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. I hope you all took some time to enjoy our wonderful words spoken by our keynote speaker. I definitely learned a lot about him, about the strength of song. And it's something our community has always fallen back on, and we haven't really understood why. So thank you so much for sharing that information with us. We appreciate you so much. And a silent virtual applause to our keynote speaker. Okay, I'm gonna have my co-coordinator, Dylan, to come up and join me. We'll go ahead and close things out and finish things up. Oh, wait, nope, he's giving me I'm sorry, I messed up. And so I am going to get out of the way and let Dylan do what he's supposed to do. Thank you. Again, thank you to our keynote speaker.
Whew. I swear, y'all, this is the last you will see of my face today. I hope you're not too sick of it. Let me get us on a loop here so you can continue seeing these beautiful melanated faces as we close out today. Let me echo, wow. Dr. Andre, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for your words, for taking us through that dissection of the word hymn, what it means to us. And since I had the pleasure of being in the room, hearing those little kids singing the Negro national anthem, as we say, the Black national anthem, was really joyous for me. And so I really appreciate you, and I really, once again, want to thank you for being our keynote speaker today. As we close out the 2022 Black History Month opening ceremony, I can't believe we're saying that. We did it, y'all. Woo, we did it. I want to remind you all to please visit the MESA website, Multi-Ethnic Student Affairs website, where you will find a long list of BHM events happening throughout the month of February. Each and every one of these events will vary in topic, scope, and direction. Blackness cannot and should not be contained to one singular, monolithic identity or form of expression, nor can or should Black joy. 2022 Black History Month programming will offer attendees the opportunity to delve into new learning, understanding, and appreciation of Black peoples from both near and far, to foster a deeper and more nuanced connection with the experience and sentiment of Black joy. For we are a joyous and proud people. Feel good as hell to be Black. Am I right? Don't it feel good as hell to be Black? And the students on the planning committee made it clear that this campus is overdue for a celebration of our joy. So that's what we finna do. Thank you, everyone, for joining us as we begin the kickoff of the 2022 Black History Month programming. Another special thanks to the University of Michigan execs who made it out today, Martino Harmon, Kambiz Khalili, Robert Sellers, and Anjali Antarkar, for your presence and support during this opening ceremony. Thank you as well to our lovely sponsors, LSNA Student Government and Student Life. And a huge thank you to all the orgs, there are too many to count, who submitted events for the MESA programming calendar, for without you, none of this magic could have happened today. Thank you, everyone, from the bottom of our hearts. Peace be upon you, and we'll see you next time.